This silence you're sitting in is not punishment. It's preparation. Was it delay or was it destiny? Holding its breath. Was it the end or was it heaven clearing the stage for your beginning? You didn't miss it. God was hiding you because what's next is holy. Stay until the end. Because what you're about to hear may explain why everything in your life had to unravel. Why He whispered when you were begging for a shout. This isn't just a message. It's a moment of activation. Welcome to Chosen One's Prophecy, where the hidden are revealed and the marked are gathered. Here, we unseal the scrolls. We do not run from the fire. We rise from it. We do not chase crowds. We are called from the wilderness. The Lord said to Abram, "Leave your country, your people and your father's household and go to the land I will show you." He didn't give directions. He gave a departure. So stay, because the signs that are about to unfold may explain your entire life. The whisper you've been hearing. It wasn't your imagination. It was your invitation to leave, to become, to be sent, the hidden departure. When God whispers, "Leave," you didn't just wake up restless. That stirring in your chest is heaven packing your bags. God doesn't always shout His instructions. Sometimes He whispers a word so soft it shakes your entire reality. Abraham wasn't given a destination. He was given a departure. Leave your father's house, leave your comfort, leave everything familiar, and walk with no map but trust. What if the unease you feel isn't confusion, but the beginning of clarity? What if your detachment is the divine pulling you out of what no longer fits? You weren't losing your grip. God was loosening your roots. This isn't just about geography. It's about obedience. It's about stepping away from what was good to step into what is God. What door have you been standing at? Long after the voice that once told you to enter has now whispered, "Leave." Divine markings. The evidence you were set apart. Before you were told to leave, you were marked, not with celebration, but with consecration. You were always different, weren't you? The room shifted when you entered. People projected what they couldn't understand. David was anointed in the presence of brothers who didn't believe in him. Joseph was given dreams his own blood wanted to kill. Esther was hidden until the kingdom needed her voice. You weren't delayed. You were disguised. The rejections weren't personal. They were prophetic. You had to be shut out, because your spirit couldn't breathe in shallow places. The patterns are there. The warfare before your birthdays. The betrayals before your breakthroughs. You didn't stumble into spiritual warfare. You inherited it the moment heaven wrote your name in the scroll of the called. You weren't overlooked. You were preserved. What if the very thing they mocked in you was the very thing God was multiplying? The silent seasons. When heaven seems quiet. After the call comes the cave, and the cave is where most quit. There are no loud angels, no flashing signs, just silence, so deep it feels like absence. But in the silence, God is not gone. He is measuring you. Will you still move when you hear nothing? Will you still believe when no one sees you? Job searched in every direction and found nothing, but declared, "He knows the way that I take." Elijah hid in the cave, begging for death. But heaven wasn't done speaking. Not through fire, not through earthquake, through a whisper. The silence wasn't abandonment. It was divine surveillance. This is the place where the chosen are tested. Will you obey the last word while waiting for the next one? The fire and the forge. Why the pain had purpose. If you've suffered greatly, it's not because God forgot you. It's because He intends to forge you. Moses murdered a man and fled into obscurity. 40 years of wilderness, not wasted but wrought. Shame, regret, isolation, all melted in the furnace of becoming. Your betrayal wasn't just heartbreak. It was the blow that broke your false identity. The abandonment was permission to release the version of you that begged for crumbs. Every pain had a purpose. Every scar was a seal. Fire is heaven's signature for those he trusts to lead. He tests what will carry glory. Do not despise what burned you. It's the very flame that refined you. You weren't just in the fire. You were forged by it. Darkness, confrontation. Why hell targeted you early. You've asked, why did life attack me before I had a chance to live? Why was I fighting demons before I knew how to pray? Because the enemy saw the scroll before you did. Hell studies blueprints, and when it saw yours, it launched an early invasion. Gideon was hiding in fear when the angel called him mighty. Mary was troubled, not by darkness, but by the weight of the announcement. Jesus was driven into the wilderness before his ministry even began. You weren't cursed. You were called. That's why hell couldn't wait. You've been under attack not because you're weak, but because you're a weapon. Comment 4044 if this resonates deep in your spirit right now. Let the enemy know you're still here. This wasn't warfare, it was recognition. Even darkness knew your name. Spiritual consequences. When the chosen refuse the call. Not everyone says yes. Some delay, some detour, some disconnect. Jonah ran. Lot's wife looked back. Saul disobeyed. And each of them lost something heaven never intended to take, but couldn't leave unguarded. When you ignore the whisper, the world becomes louder. And when you say no to the fire, life burns without purpose. Every aborted assignment leaves a door open to chaos. You were not built for neutrality. The chosen are either rising or retreating, but they cannot remain still. So if God said leave, why are you still trying to fix what he has already closed? Supernatural authority. Who you've been becoming you didn't just survive. You've been entrusted. Heaven didn't let you break, because it was preparing to build on you. Elisha received Elijah's mantle, not because he chased it, but because he was found faithful. Authority is not noise, it's weight. And now, you carry it. When you enter a room, atmospheres shift. When you speak, demons take notice. When you pray, realms open. You weren't just chosen. You were entrusted. This is not charisma. It is covenant. So walk like it. Pray like it. Move like it. You carry keys now. Heaven's assignment, what you're being sent to do. You are not just leaving. You are being sent. To build what hasn't been built, to say what others were afraid to voice, to become what generations prayed for. Isaiah said, "Here I am, send me." But first, he had to be purified. This next season is not about noise, it's about clarity. Your obedience is unlocking regions. Your alignment is restoring bloodlines. You are the answer to a cry you didn't even hear. Don't ask for a throne, ask for tools. Because what you're carrying is not decoration, it's deliverance. The rise of the remnant, you are not alone. You thought you were the only one, but you're not. All over the world they are awakening. The hidden, the hunted, the hungry, all hearing the same whisper. Leave, rise, go. You are part of a remnant marked by obedience, forged by fire, called to govern what others only survived. Elijah thought he was alone until God revealed 7,000 others had not bowed. You are not isolated. You are interconnected. And now, the signal has gone out. Will you rise with them? Echo activation. What you carry isn't just for you. This journey was never just about your healing. It was about your inheritance. Your story is an echo, a trumpet blast in someone else's night. What you carry must travel, across timelines, across nations, across bloodlines. Your obedience becomes someone else's permission. Don't silence your scroll. Don't hide what was forged in fire. You were not just called to go, you were called to echo. Let the sound begin. You thought you were wandering, but you were being positioned. Not exiled, enthroned in waiting. Every detour was direction, every delay was design. You were never outside of God's hand, only outside of man's understanding. This wasn't just a journey of leaving, it was a return to the original blueprint heaven wrote over your life. You are not who you were before this fire. You are not where you were when the silence began. You are not bound by what tried to break you. You are becoming. And now, heaven recognizes you again. You, chosen one, have passed through obscurity, carried the weight of silence, endured the fire, and still believed. You are no longer waiting. You are ready. You have been marked. You have been forged. And now, you are being sent. Comment 77.7. If your spirit knows this was confirmation, share below what pierced your heart. What line, what moment, what whisper made your spirit tremble? Subscribe and stay connected to Chosen One's prophecy, because the remnant is rising, and you are part of it. You are not alone. You are the next echo.